We live. Hey, welcome back to the Golden Goose DFS show, man. I am your host, Chandler Blakely, aka Goose, here today bringing you another edition of the starting five for Draftkings and Fanduel, alright? And before we get into that, man, y'all know we got the lineup review. Got my best lineup I pulled up with the updated starting five. If you got a chance to take a look at it yesterday, got it pulled up right here. It's in the $12 single entry, man. Put up 273, finished just outside the cash line. The cash line was like 282, 283 in the $12 single entry tonight. We should have very easily cashed, man, but blowouts hurt us tonight, man. We had three guys that didn't get any closing run because of the blowouts, and Kyle Kuzma, Draymond Green, and DeAndre Ayton. We could have saw bigger gains for them, but like I said, the blowout hindered those matchups. If you saw the updated starting five, man, you'll see yesterday I went with Drew Holiday, Rodney Magruder, Kyle Kuzma, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and DeAndre Ayton was the updated starting five. How I came up with that? Well, originally in the starting five, it was supposed to be Zubox. As you can see, I got him right here in the center spot. But we didn't get the news about Ibaka before lock, so being that the time constraints, I went with Aiden in the updated starting five that I posted for you guys. So and then with Aiden, like I said, we thought it was a nice matchup for him. He projected very well for me. He should have saw about 40, maybe 40 plus in this matchup, but like I said, he didn't play like the last 5, 6 minutes of the game, man, due to the blowout of the Memphis Grizzlies. So, hey, it comes with the territory, man. Can't be too upset at that one. We'll take it. I mean, with the Giannis play in the starting five, man, I definitely wanted to go here. It was the highest projected total on the slate, and it went up a few points before the game even started. So it ended up being the highest total on the slate by like 10 points, man. So that combination of the total being that high and the total going up, I had a great feeling about this being a high scoring game. So I definitely wanted to get the highest scoring piece possibly in that game, and that's why I went Giannis right here. We knew he'd be kind of high on, but it was okay. I had planned to get different in other spots. Which brings me to my point guard, Drew Holiday, man. With that total being so high, and it was predicted to be a blowout. I knew it would be Giannis and one of the other guys, be it Middleton or Brook Lopez or Drew Holiday. I thought it would be Drew, so I went with Drew Holiday here as he was the cheaper, not the cheaper, the most confident I felt out of the other pieces, man. Ended up being the wrong choice. Actually, Brook Lopez was the better guy to pay him with, as he gave you a better value in return for his salary. But Drew gave us 27 right here, man. It is what it is. We needed a little more from him, especially on tonight. But he gave us 27. Didn't kill us, but hey, didn't push us to the top of leaderboard anyway. My shooting guard, I went with Rodney Magruder. That's the only value play I wanted to go with here, man. It's the only. I wanted to try to stay away from him, but once Wayne Ellington was ruled out and he was a starter, man, I thought it'd be hard pressed to try to find a better value, a better value play in the type of matchup that he had against the Spurs. So I wanted to just lock him in, and because I knew I was different with my next play, Kyle Kuzma. I knew he was gonna be low on. Small forward was all over the place, man. There was no lock, a guy I felt like you had to have at small forward, man. I knew the person that picked the power forward spot right tonight had a great chance of taking it down. And Kuzma, he gave, like I said, no blowout run. I mean, the blowout hindered his closing run, so he only gave us 34 right here. We was expecting him to push 40. Kyle Kuzma's been playing really good lately since coming back from the All-Star break, so we liked him in his matchup against Golden State Warriors. Blowout hindered him, but we'll take the 34, man. Kuzma definitely a guy you can come back and take a look at, all right? And then rounding out my lineup, man, I went with a single entry, man. I wanted to go right here to quickly, man. I knew he had the potential, especially in this matchup with Brooklyn Nets. I knew he had the potential to really hurt me if I didn't have exposure to him. And being that I was different with Ayton and Kuzma, I knew those were my main two pivot pieces in my core. I feel I can lock in some more, a little more chalkier playing quickly and a play that I actually like. Coming in at the center, I went Zubac. Like I said, you saw him in the video yesterday, man. He was my original starting five play, so I wanted to lock him in right here once we got the news that he was starting and Ibaka was out, and he gave us a nice return at right at 33 DK points for this 4,600 price tag. And then filling it out, man, I went with Draymond Green here. My downfall in this lineup was going too balanced, man. I didn't want to go superstars and scrubs because there wasn't another cheap value play that I felt comfortable with, man. Magruder and Zubac was the only two value plays that I felt really comfortable with, so I wanted to get them in there and just go balance around that. In hindsight, I probably should have got another star in here that would have definitely put us over the cash line, but like I said, if it wasn't for blowouts, we would have easily cashed with this lineup, so we'll take it, man. Strategy was okay tonight. Could have been a little better, but it's on to the next night, man. Let's see what we got brewing for y'all tomorrow, alright? Coming in on DraftKings, man. Before we get into it, man, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, alright? Now, coming in on DraftKings, man, at the point guard, man, at the top, guy I want to look at is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, man. Going in this matchup against the Bulls, man, it's a nice matchup for the Thunder here, up-paced matchup, man. You know I like going to SGA as he is the alpha superstar over there for the OKC Thunder, man. He runs the show. I like him in this up-paced matchup, lackluster defense against the Bulls, man. Get you some Shai Gilgeous-Alexander tomorrow. Coming in as shooting guard. It's a guy I'm gonna roll the dice on, man. As shooting guard tomorrow, man, I don't like any of the options, but I think Zach LaVine is gonna be a great pay up option. He should come in a little lower on, man, as he's not been giving ceiling performances of late. He's just been giving kind of middling performance. I think tomorrow is a spot he can turn that around. I like this matchup against the Thunder for Zach LaVine, especially if Lou Dort is going to continue to be out. He's questionable right now. Lou Dort is probably the best on-ball defender. So if Lou Dort plays, I may change Zach LaVine, but I doubt it, man. I like him in this spot tomorrow. I'm expecting a big performance from Zach LaVine, man. Hopefully there's some low ownership, man. Get you some Zach LaVine tomorrow, right? Coming in at small forward, a guy I want to take a look at, Brandon Ingram, in this matchup with the Portland Trail Blazers, man. I like this 8,100 price tag on him, man. You talking about a guy who averages, he's averaging 40 DK points on the year, man. Now you give him an up-paced matchup, lackluster defense in the Portland Trail Blazers, man. You gotta love it. Should be one of the highest, probably the highest total on the slate tomorrow. I don't really have the totals. All the totals are not out right now, but I'm guessing this is going to be your highest total tomorrow. So I definitely want to get some exposure there, and I think Ingram is the way to go in this matchup. All right, coming in at power forward, man. I'm going to Kenyon Martin Jr., man. He's making a believer out of me, man. Now, this pick is provided that all those Houston guys are still out. We know Wall is still out, but guys like House is questionable, and what's the other guy over there? I'm drawing a blank right now, but if those guys play, this definitely may change. But if all those guys are out, man, I think you can go to Kenyon Martin Jr. He's been very solid, man. He's averaging right at 30 DraftKings points, man, since all the injuries, and he's been moved into the rotation. Seeing right at 30 minutes every night, you gotta like it at this 5,300 price tag, especially in this matchup against the Hawks, man. Like I said, if all those guys are out tomorrow, I'm gonna be looking to go right back to Kenyon Martin Jr. right here, man. Been a very solid fantasy option in Houston's time of despair with players in their lineup, all right? And then rolling my dice tomorrow at the center play, man. I don't know what type of ownership he's going to get, but if they're starting him again, man, I like going to Moses Brown right here, man. A lot of those Thunder guys are still out, so this is going to be a lot. You're going to see a lot of guys going to this Thunder team, especially they probably go to AP. I can't pronounce his name, but the power forward for the Thunder had a monster game out last time. He's at 4,400. I know people are going to go right back to that, and he's a viable option if you want to go that route. I'm going to have some exposure to him. I'm going to get him in a few spots, but the guy I want to take my chances on is Moses Brown right here, man. I like him in this matchup. The Bulls are not very good in the front court, man, especially not on the glass. Moses Brown gave us solid performances last couple times out drawing the start. His only problem has been foul trouble, but I don't see that happening here, man. Last game out, he fouled out. He was going against a big aggressive body and Jonas Valanciunas down there in the paint, which probably going to draw a few more fouls on him. With the Bulls not having a strong inside presence, there's nobody that's really going to get the ball on the block for him to guard. I'm hoping he avoids some foul trouble and pushes 30 minutes, man. If that's the case, I think he can give us a solid return at 3,500, man. If he can get 30 minutes, I think he's going to pose a baby double threat, man. Hopefully he can get us 10 and 10. I'm looking at him in this matchup as a pivot from some of the other Thunder chalk tomorrow, all right? Hopefully he doesn't come in too high on. But there you have it, man. My starting five for DraftKings: Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Zach LaVine, Brandon Ingram, Kenyon Martin Jr., and Moses Brown, man. Get you some exposure to these guys. Get them in your lineup, man. You know I'm going to have plenty of them. Now let's go take a look at FanDuel and see what I got cooking for y'all over there, all right? Over here on FanDuel, man, coming in at the top, a guy I want to take a chance on right here is Mike Connolly, man. He should be locked in to 30-plus minutes, especially in this matchup against the Celtics. This should be a really good game just basketball-wise, let alone fantasy purpose. But I want to go to Mike Conley right here because I think he's gonna get a little more usage, a few more shot attempts. As I'm anticipating Donovan Mitchell is gonna draw some tough on the ball defense from Jaylen Brown, which is gonna force him to get the ball up a little more. So I'm looking for Mike Conley or potentially Jordan Clarkson, another option tomorrow. One of those guys, Mike Conley or Jordan Clarkson, is going to give you a good fantasy performance tomorrow, man. I'm talking about maybe 6, 7x. I'm looking for one of those guys to really step up as I'm expecting Donovan Mitchell to, like I said, to draw some tough on-ball defense from Jaylen Brown, all right? And they're going to need the offense against this Celtics team. So get you some Mike Conley tomorrow. That's my choice, what I'm thinking right now, all right? Coming in as shooting guard, going right back to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, man. A little bit cheaper over here on FanDuel, man. I just told you the matchup, the pace of the game, the lackluster defense, everything's going to work in his favor. Get you some Shai Gilgeous-Alexander tomorrow, all right? Coming in at small forward, man. I want to stay with them. Brandon Ingram, $400 cheaper, man. The matchup is great. I'm looking for him to have a big performance, man. Probably push 40-plus fantasy points over here tomorrow, all right? And coming in at power forward, man. Going back to the well with Tobias Harris. I know he's going to probably be a little chalky over here on FanDuel, but no Embiid, man. He is the main scorer, man. Ben Simmons handles a lot of he sees a lot of usage from handling the ball and getting the offensive sets, but he is nowhere near the offensive weapon, man, that Tobias Harris is. They're going to need his scoring tomorrow to contend with this tough Knicks defense, man. I'm looking for Tobias Harris to give us another solid performance at this 7,800, all right? And coming in at center, man, staying with my boy Moses Brown, man, my favorite value play across both sites. It's a little more expensive over here on FanDuel, but I don't mind getting to him, expecting the ownership to be a little lower on FanDuel. But at 4,200, man, I told him I'm expecting a big day from him tomorrow, man. I like this matchup. Hopefully he can stay out of foul trouble, right? That's going to do it for us over here on FanDuel, man. You see my starting five: Mike Conley, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Brandon Ingram, Tobias Harris, and Moses Brown. Get you some exposure to these guys. Get them in your lineups, man. I'm going to have plenty of them, all right? That's going to do it for us here tonight, man. This is the Golden Goose DFS show. Y'all know the motto: chances make champions. Y'all green up tonight. I'll see y'all tomorrow, all right? Let's go.